I'm Diane Wedner, Lifescript.com. Embarrassed about gas? I sat down with Dr. Yvonne Bohn for answers to your most personal questions. Hello, Dr. Bohn. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of women complain of constipation. Are women more prone to it? And if so, why?
I don't necessarily think women are more prone to constipation than men, but during pregnancy, women will definitely get more constipated than before pregnancy because the hormones in our body when we're pregnant slow what we call our gastric emptying time, and everything that goes through our stomach and our intestines is delayed. And so when things move more slowly, water gets taken out of the stool and makes it hard. But I wouldn't say a non-pregnant woman is more likely to have constipation than a man. I think a lot of the problems with constipation are dietary, and I think that we really, as a country, don't have a great diet that helps prevent constipation.
Fiber.
So definitely fiber. You want to drink lots of water. You need to have lots of fiber, either in the form of bran in your morning with your cereal or with a muffin. Lots of green leafy vegetables. That's one thing that's really lacking in the American diet, but green leafy vegetables really help with digestion and help with moving the stool. If you have a really healthy diet and you're still suffering from constipation, then you can use fiber supplements, and they come in all different forms. They come in tablets, powders, something you can put in your orange juice. So you can do any type of fiber supplement once a day. We do sometimes recommend stool softeners. Now, stool softeners aren't going to help the stool move through the gut, but it will make, when the stool comes out, softer, so you don't get as much discomfort in the anus, or to help prevent hemorrhoids.
Is there a certain point at which you should just say, okay, I've had it. I've got to get medical attention now. You've tried everything that you're just talking about.
Yeah, I think if you've tried a good healthy diet, lots of water and fiber, and you're still finding that you're having problems with constipation, it does warrant a trip to the gastroenterologist to make sure there isn't something functional that is causing the constipation. And constipation and bloating can be signs of other diseases. So if all of a sudden you have new onset constipation and bloating in a woman, we're concerned about ovarian cancer.
And what about blood in the stool? Is that often a sign that, could it just be a cut in your system, or could it be something more serious?
So blood in the stool has a lot of different possibilities. It can be a cut, and so as the hard stool is coming out of the rectum, you can cut the anus, or you can have a hemorrhoid, and so you could find some blood either on the tissue or blood on the stool, on the outside of the stool. And that could signify a hemorrhoid. Blood that's intermixed within the stool is more concerning. It could be coming from an ulcer in the stomach or something in the gastrointestinal tract. So if you really don't have just a small amount of blood, it really does warrant a trip to the gastroenterologist and a possible colonoscopy or endoscopy.
What about, some women go through the horrible embarrassment of leaking a little bit when they laugh or sneeze, or if they're joggers. Is that a sign of something wrong with the plumbing, and should they get it fixed, or is that normal?
That is a sign that there is something wrong with the anatomy, not something wrong with the plumbing. So in women, the bladder neck is supported by what we call the anterior pelvic floor. So the anterior part, the top part of our vagina, holds up our bladder. And through childbirth, unfortunately, when a baby comes through the vagina, the baby has a very big round head. The vagina is a small tube, and so if you have a big round head, it will weaken basically the support of the vagina, both on the top and the bottom. So from childbirth, the anterior wall of the vagina is weakened, and the bladder neck tends to fall. And that is something we call stress incontinence. So that is incontinence when you cough, jump, dance, have intercourse, where the urine leaks out. Now, unfortunately, for stress incontinence, there aren't a lot of great therapies. The one thing we recommend are some exercises called kegel exercises.
Every woman's heard about
Yeah,
this.
so we do recommend that you do kegel exercises, 10 kegels 3 times a day, but you have to do them every day, just like if you have to do sit-ups or push-ups to have good biceps or good chest muscles, the same thing for the vagina. If you want to have a good, strong vagina, you have to do your exercises.
Will you just describe what that is?
Okay, so the best way I can describe a kegel exercise is when you're peeing, you can stop your pee. So let's say all of a sudden you pee and you want to hold it for a second. That little tiny squeeze that stops the stream of the urine, that is a Kegel exercise.
But you don't have to do it when
you don't
you're
do it when you're urinating.
Okay.
You do it when you're sitting. You just squeeze your little muscles very tightly 10 times in a row. You can also use Kegel exercises during sex. If a woman had a baby and the vagina feels more lax or more open, during intercourse, a woman can squeeze her vaginal muscles so there's more tightness around the penis, and both her and her partner may get more enjoyment. So Kegel exercises are the first things we do. I also recommend don't wait too long to go to the bathroom. So if you wait 3 hours and then you want to go for a jog, of course the urine's going to leak out. So if you're doing anything where you're going to be exercising, urinate before you go exercise. Then after that, then the only way to fix the bladder is typically through some type of surgical intervention where we actually repair the vaginal wall by lifting the bladder neck.
Does that last forever?
It does not last forever.
So it's just a short-term
It's a short-term fix. Unfortunately, the surgeries to fix the bladder are not long-lasting. Most of them will have some type of failure after about 5 years. So we don't have a great treatment for stress incontinence, unfortunately. But if the stress incontinence is very debilitating, if a woman is wearing pads and soaking on herself, she can have a surgical correction. But those aren't perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bohn.
Well, thank you for having me.
And as always, be sure to check with your doctor before beginning any new health regimen. For more information, visit our Women's Health Center at www.lifescript.com. From Los Angeles, I'm Diane Wedner.